It's been quite a while since we've done a how to rune video on any of the new units. I've seen you guys asking, I've seen you guys typing it in Twitch for the Twitch commands on how to rune the new units, and I'm like, we don't have videos on those, and you're like, why not? I'm like, that's a good question. Why don't we have videos on those? So today we're going to do a how to rune video on 2 different units, but it's really just a how to rune video on 1 unit because they're the same unit. The Blade Dancers and the Chun-Li. So if you guys, 95% of people already know this because I've said it a million times. The Blade Dancers and the Chun-Lis are the same units. They have the same skills. One is just the Street Fighter version, and the other one is the Come To Us version, the Summoner's War version. So just as a recap, decrease attack bar 30%, 50% chance. Decrease attack bar 30%, 50% chance. Skill 2, AoE, decrease speed 50% chance. AoE, decrease speed 50% chance. You'll never guess what the third skill is. Attack bar increase, speed up, and crit up. Oh my god, guys. Can you even believe it? Now that we've recapped the extremely obvious, let's discuss rune builds. So the first one we have is the Fire Blade Dancer. Most people pronounce this as Bernice. I pronounce it in my dialect. Very nice. So for... As we've already mentioned, her first skill is decrease attack bar. Her second skill is an AoE speed break. Her third skill, though, is what we want to consider when we rune her. She's very similar to Bernard's. Increase attack bar of all allies by 30%, increases speed and critical rate for 2 turns each. So we want to run her as fast as possible on Swift. She is a support unit, and usually support units are speed, HP. However, I've kind of come to the conclusion over the past couple of years is that I actually want to run any support units that I have for Arena Offense. I want to run them with more damage. I've enjoyed using them with more damage, whether it's Triana or whether it's Bernard. I've enjoyed using them with more damage because I want fast clears. So really, if I'm going to go for an aggressive Arena Offense, I want to put damage on everything, not just like damage on like 2 things, and then if they die for some reason, then I have no damage left, and then I lose. I want to put damage on as much as possible. So things like Tiana, things like Bernard, I like to put some damage on. So I would actually run her either speed crit damage attack or speed crit damage HP. Probably speed crit damage attack if possible, even though she's a support unit, just to get that little extra damage out of her. And I run her Swift as fast as possible. And some people like to do Will. I probably would do Blade because I'm a heathen like that. But yeah, I actually thought that not as many people would use her because Bernard is faster and Cordelia is faster, but it turns out that actually there are quite a decent amount of people that are using Bernice for, Bernice for Arena Offense. Next up, we have Larial, the Water Blade Dancer, which has the same exact skills as the Water Chun-Li. I was honestly a little bit disappointed. I was actually more than a little bit disappointed in her because I saw her third skill. She's got the same first 2 skills as the Fire one. I saw her third skill, Moonlight Dance, attack the enemy target 7 times, decrease the attack bar by 20% each. If the target's attack bar becomes 0, it inflicts damage that ignores defense. 7th attack will always ignore defense. On paper, it seems amazing. She's got multi-hits, she does attack bar decrease, she does ignore defense, seems crazy. Her multiplier is very low. She does not do that much damage. If you put insane, ridiculous runes on her, she can do some damage. I built her. I built her on 2 different accounts. I built the Larial on China server, and I built the Water Chun-Li on the main. Same unit, been very disappointed with her just overall, and it's mostly just her damage multipliers. If she gets a buff in a patch to greatly increase her damage multipliers, then she'll be definitely a good unit. I was very disappointed building her. I regret building her. I built the Fire one. I don't regret, with the Fire Chun-Li anyway. And I don't but it's the same thing, right? So I don't regret the Fire Chun-Li. I don't regret building her. I do regret building the Water Chun-Li / Larial because her damage multiplier is just so low. She's okay for control. I would honestly run her speed crit damage attack. She doesn't need to be crazy fast 300 speed or as fast as possible like the Fire one does for Arena Offense. Larial just needs to be either speed crit damage attack on Fatal, on Rage, on Violent, on you could do Swift speed crit damage attack as well, or Swift attack or damage attack. All of those are, you want her to be fairly fast though because she does have attack each decreases. She also works really nicely with, in theory she works really nicely with other things that do attack each decrease if she did more damage. But again, the damage multipliers are very low. She doesn't have a lot of damage output at all. So again, I was pretty disappointed in that. But we'll see in the future if they increase her damage multipliers. Then she could be a really, really solid unit. But again, we'll see what actually happens. But like I said, either fatal or rage or violent speed crit damage attack if you still want to build her, or if she gets buffed at some point in the future, or swift attack crit damage attack or speed crit damage attack. Pair her after something else that already does some attack gauge reduction for the most value out of this Moonlight Dance. But honestly, right now, I would not recommend building her based on her multipliers being very low. Next on the list is Cordelia, the Wind Blade Dancer. I forgot to mention a 2-set for the water one. Blade and Focus are the recommended 2 sets unless you're doing for PvP. So you always consider if you may need will runes if you're doing PvP, but generally Blade and Focus are going to be fine for. Honestly, the same thing for Cordelia. She's got the same skill here. She's got the Blade Dance of the Night. This is different. Attack the enemy 3 times, decrease attack bar by 20% each, deals damage, ignores defense when the target's attack bar is 0. And then we have this attack power increases in proportion to the attack speed. So you want to make her very fast. Increase the attack speed for 1 turn after attacking the enemy every turn. So generally either, again, same basic idea is rage, speed crit damage attack, fatal, speed crit damage attack, swift, speed crit damage attack, or attack crit damage attack, violent, speed crit damage attack, and either blade or focus on here. I wouldn't really use her for, there's so many better options for PvP, Lucian, Copper, there's a lot of better options. I wouldn't really use her for PvP. She's kind of for dungeons, but she's not even as amazing for dungeons as she could be. Again, we'll see what happens with her in the future. She was kind of a little bit of a disappointment. At least she does buff her own speed, though. So she self-buffs and then does extra damage based on her speed. But yeah, she should be fast and do a lot of damage. So speed, crit damage, attack, just generally. And then some good accuracy. Make sure she's got good. Anything that has speed, crit damage, attack, or attack, crit damage, attack, or any kind of crit damage on slot 4 should have good crit rate. That should go without saying. But that's what I recommend for her. Honestly, I wouldn't really recommend building her. Out of the 3 normal element ones, this one has been the least, because I built all of them. This one has been the least regretful because you could use this for arena offense. These ones, it's like you shove them in there because you want to use them, but there's better things for the job. Now on to the light and dark ones. First one is Leia, the Light Blade Dancer. Same thing as the Light Chun-Li. Very, very OP. I know if you guys are watching this right as it comes out, you're like, yeah, we already saw it. You already did 2 videos on her recently, or just back to back. If you're watching this in the future, you probably didn't see those videos because you just like typed in how to ruin Blade Dancer, and you're like, okay, let's see this one. She has the same first skill and second skill as the water one and the fire one. However, she does a lot more damage based on her passive. Damage increases up to 200% as your attack speed is faster than the enemy's attack speed. So it's based on the difference in attack speeds. If your attack speed is 300 and your opponent's attack speed is 299, that's a very small difference. She's not going to do that much extra damage. Because her skills are not based on her attack speed specifically, like it does more damage if you're 300 speed. It does more damage the bigger the difference is. So if there's a small difference, like for example, if you're both you and the enemy are very fast, it's not going to do a whole lot of extra damage. If you are going into hit a Leo team, Leo basically nerfs her damage because it's like she barely gets any, she doesn't really get any passive. So bad versus Leo, bad versus other things that are very, very fast. When she has a slow debuff on her, she hits like a potato. When she has a speed debuff, slow debuff on her. When she has a speed buff on her and a slow debuff on the enemy, that greatly increases the speed of her compared to the speed of the enemy. So she does a lot more damage. So you want speed buffs on her, you want speed downs on the enemy, and that will make the maximum damage from her. She also has 120 base speed, which is crazy. I would go for either swift, speed, crit damage attack is probably the most common one. She already has really, really good base speed. So if you have like fatal or rage and you have really, really fast runes on fatal or rage and you can get her really fast, she would also do really good damage on that. I think mostly people are just using her on Swift and trying to get whatever attack power buffers, speed buffers, defense breakers, speed debuffers on the enemies. all those different buffs and debuffs. They're trying just to make him faster than her, which is a tall order because you already want her very, very fast. Again, a lot of people are going to go just speed, crit damage, attack on her very, very fast. But yeah, to outspeed her with 120 base speed is kind of a tall order. We'll take a look at the runes. We'll take a look at some rune builds from different people at the end of this. But yeah, you just want to make her very, very fast. Give her a speed buff. Give the enemy a speed debuff. And also attack power buff and defense break, because she does do damage based on her attack power here. It's just extra damage based on the speed difference. So yeah, we'll take a look at some rune builds though. And last but not least, Verisa the Dark Blade Dancer, aka the Dark Chun-Li. This one kind of goes underappreciated. I want to say unloved, not unloved, but a lot of people don't really think about her. A lot of people don't pay too much attention to her because the Light Blade Dancer, aka Light Chun-Li, is so exciting. She's so flashy. She's got high base speed. She does a lot of damage. That the Dark one, people are like, oh yeah, okay. The Dark one is also whatever. If the Light one didn't exist, then people pay more attention to the Dark one. That's just how it is. Everyone's so focused on the Light one being so OP that they don't think about the other ones. I mean, some of the other ones aren't really that great, like the Water one and the Wind one aren't really that great, but the Dark one is actually pretty cool. So she is a support unit. Keep that in mind because all three of her skills do damage. So it's not going to do as much damage as if she was an attack type unit. But let's recap her skills. First skill, decrease attack gauge. Second, with single target, decrease attack gauge. Second skill, attacks the enemy 3 times, decrease attack bar by 20% each, so 60% total. Deals damage that ignores defense when the target's deals damage that ignores defense when the target's attack bar is 0. However, it's not going to do that much damage because she is a support type unit. And I don't think the multipliers on that second skill are even that much anyway, even for the wind one, right? If I recall correctly. And then the third skill, this is why she's exciting. She has a third skill, attacks all enemies 3 times with powerful energy. Each attack has an 80% chance to remove all beneficial effects, and then it goes up harmful effect rate plus 20%. So it's a 100% activation rate. That's the activation rate though. That's not the accuracy and resistance. That's completely different. So you have the activation rate first to see if the skill actually activates. And then you have the accuracy resistance check after that, which you could still get resisted, but at least it's going to have a 100% chance to activate. And it is a full strip. It's not like a strips one beneficial effect. It's a full strip, decreased attack power, and glancing hit. So the cool thing about that is, like, for example, if you run her on Swift and your opponent is, for example, in, let's say, RTA, your opponent's using a Julie Lucian team, you run a Verisa on Swift, and you have, let's say, a Vanessa speed lead. If your opponent does not know that you're running a Swift Verisa, you can strip, glancing hit, and attack power break their team if you go first, and then that completely shuts down their team. Lucian's gonna glance and he's not gonna do any damage with all his negative attack power, right? He's not negative attack power, but he's not gonna have that much attack power. If he's attack power broken and glancing, he's gonna do a lot of glancings, and then Julie's not gonna do that much damage with attack power break and glancing hit. They're gonna just hit like wet noodles. So Verisa potentially can be great in that situation if you outspeed. So Swift is definitely an option. I think absolutely try to make her as fast as humanly possible, no matter what you put her on. Swift is a good option. Violent is always an option, and then Despair is another option because you have this strip. So anything that has an AoE strip can be useful on Despair. You're thinking like Praha, you're thinking like Chiwu, you're thinking maybe not Tiana, right? She has an AoE strip, but it kind of works a little bit differently. I know some people run Triton on Despair. High-level meta, high-level arena is Swift Triton, by the way. But I know a lot of people in like mid-game are like Speed Lead, Orion, and Despair Triton. Some people like to do that in like C1, C2, whatever. That's besides the point. We're not even talking about Triton. We're talking about Verisa. So you could run basically whatever you run on her. You want to make her very, very fast. You want to give her good accuracy. She's got 105 base speed, which is not bad, but it's not amazing either. I would go, honestly, I really like the idea of having her on Swift, very, very fast, and shutting down a team like instantly, and just like bringing her in when your opponent's bringing like that cleave team. They're gonna cleave you, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna bring a Vanessa and like a 300 speed Verisa. Of course, you have to get to a 300 speed Verisa. Like, you have to actually have the runes to make her 300 speed. But if you ever like speed HP accuracy for RTA as a just pick into cleave teams, it could be very, very beneficial. You can also run her either very fast or, well, run her very fast either way, but you could run her for Guild War or Guild Siege defense with a Commune lead, or you could run her with a Ryan or something like that for a strip and strip attack, power break, glancing hit. Just really nice in general for a faster Guild War, Guild Siege, more so Guild Siege 4-star tower defense. So I could definitely see her being used there, or like a Galleon Varisa, right? Galleon and a Swift Varisa, or Galleon and a very fast Despair Varisa. But either way, if you go Swift or you go Despair, you want to run her very, very fast. You want to run her good accuracy. You can go speed, crit damage, attack if you have an aggressive team that you're doing it with. Like, for example, if you're going to bring her in with a, like a Savannah, like a Varisa Savannah, like AoE strip, attack, power break, defense... AoE strip, attack, power break, glancing hit, defense break, and then just so many debuffs on the enemies and just do a bunch of damage. After that, if you're going to run her with a more aggressive comp, you can do speed, crit damage, attack. If you're going to run her with a more like safe comp with like a lot of support in it as well, you can go more just like very, very fast with speed, HP, because she's not going to do crazy amount of damage anyway based on the fact that she's a support unit, but very fast and either Swift or Despair, or you could even go Violent, but I think I'd probably just go Swift or Despair for me personally. But that's that for those. Let's take a look at actually some builds that different people have built that actually have the units. First on the list for Rune's Light Chun-Li, well, we're probably going to see half of them are going to be Light Chun-Li's, and then like almost no wind ones or water ones, maybe a couple fire ones, couple dark ones. Mostly it's going to be light ones. Mostly it's going to be Light Chun-Li's. Because the blade dancers at the time that I'm recording this, the blade dancers are not only available, they just became available on all the other servers. They've been around on China for a while. We'll check China though. So speed, crit damage, and attack, fairly straightforward. You're going to see a lot of this. That's basically just the build for her. Skill 2 crit damage is going to be nice. Getting extra skill 2 crit damage would be optimal. Attack increasing effect is also going to be nice. Speed increasing effect is potentially could desync things, but yeah, attack and speed increasing effects, and then the skill 2 crit damage are going to be the biggest things for damage, but that is the Light Chun-Li. Surprise, surprise, another Light Chun-Li. However, this one, it looks like she's on Swift with like a mediocre Swift set. However, she's actually on Fatal. So this is one of the things that I was mentioning earlier. If you have a very fast Fatal or Rage set, could be an option for you because she's still decently fast on Fatal. She's on speed. Nice crit rate though. Look at that rune. It's a very high value rune. Speed, crit damage, attack, just on Fatal, but still good speed in. We got a 24 speed there, 25 speed there, 22 speed there. I mean, that rune could be that could be a lot better. I mean, it would be really nice if the attack percentage was not innate and maybe like the flat attack was innate, but so it could be more valuable there, but still a nice Light Chun-Li build on not Swift. See, there's a reason we don't see too many of the wind and water ones, because the damage multipliers are too low and they're not really relevant. Like, why would you use the wind one instead of Lucian? Or why would you use the water one instead of like Stella, for example, right? Stella, or there's other units that are also good. But yeah, they're not as good as things that have come out before them, unfortunately. So this is on Swift, attack or damage, attack on Swift, but it's still fairly fast on Swift, even though it is attack or damage, attack. As long as you get the stats in, though, that's the most important thing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter as much the rune sets. It matters how if you can get it fast enough and you get enough damage output on it. So all of these are pretty nice. You see they're all at the same basic speed. Some of them are going to have more damage output than others, though, based on the attack power and the crit damage that they have versus the speed. Look what we found. More Light Chun-Li's. I told you guys it was going to be like half the thing was going to be just all Chun-Li. Yeah, this guy loves his LD scrolls, though. Oh my god. These LD Archangels love him. That's the only LDs he has is Light Chun-Li's and LD Archangels? He's got 2 Dark Archangels. Oh, I'm okay. Let's take a look at the runes, though. Attack, crit damage, attack over here. He does have quite a decent amount of... Did I click on all those? Yeah, he does have quite a decent amount of crit damage on here. 200 crit damage. These are some fat runes. I would assume that based on the fact that he's got a whole lot of LD5s, that he probably also spent money on LD packs, but not only that, but also rune packs and reaps to get those stats on these units. So this one is on. This one looks like it's not even. Okay, so it is actually finished being ruined. I thought it was not finished being ruined. It is not quite fully artifacted. Speed, good damage attack on here, but significantly less value runes. So this is still a work in progress, but we just see another. That's very fast for her, though. Very fast. 280 speed. 280 speed on there. Yet again, we're seeing a trend. We're seeing a trend. It's not that the light Chun-Li is easier to pull than the wind and water and fire ones. It's that she is the more valuable one to actually build, and that's why people are building these instead. So just speed, crit damage, attack. Again, very, very similar. We're basically seeing the stuff that I mentioned at the beginning, but that's just another rune build to reinforce. Light Chun-Li, number 457,000. She's on Fatal and Will. So speed, crit damage, attack. Look at those fat runes, though. Very nice runes. Lots of value in those runes, just overall. And she's on just Fatal, though. Fatal Will. Yet another light Chun... No, I'm just kidding. It's not a light Chun. It's a water Chun-Li this time, which is nice, but I'm not sure how much he's actually using her. If you can take a look at her skill ups, she's not skilled up at all. He probably saved some for the light Chun-Li just in case he pulled her, or the dark one just in case he pulled her, but he's got her on speed, crit damage, attack. So this is... maybe he came to the same conclusion as I did, is that like she just doesn't do enough damage. It would be nice to have her in case she really should get a damage multiplier buff in the future. So when she does, ultimately 17 years from now, she'll be able to do more damage and she'll be definitely more relevant. But as it stands right now, I don't know if people are really too excited about her. Like I was, I regret building her, but yeah, that's at least a rune build for her. Weirdly enough, another water Chun-Li. I feel like maybe he was in the same situation as I was in when I built mine. I was like, oh, she's going to be so great. She's got attack age reduction. She's got ignore defense. She's got no multipliers. But here's just food for thought on her runes. They're not grinded. This person didn't grind them. I don't know. He did very few upgrades for her, but at least that is another. I think that she actually is way too slow, way slower than she really needs to be for a unit that does speed breaks, decrease attack age, and decrease attack age. She's really too slow for what she should be doing in teams, in my opinion. Another non-light Chun-Li, so a fire Chun-Li this time, and you can kind of see that the person built her basically as fast as they could, maybe as fast as they could, I don't know. 279 is not crazy fast, really. She actually needs to be faster, but they did go for a support build as the game classifies her as support type unit, so that's what they went for. But they just basically went for swift, which is what she should be. She should be swift as fast as you can make her. Speed, HP. And then see, these are just not very fast for a swift at like 18. Like that's a blue rune. I mean, that you could roll that without even a grind and a blue rune. So it's not a very fast rune. Some of these other ones are not very fast either. Yeah, like some of these are just blue runes. But you get the idea. Just very fast, and they went for speed, HP for a traditional support build. Here is a Varisa. This guy's actually in the process of changing runes, so it's not fully runed. I know some of you are going to be like, it's not fully runed, it's 1 plus 142. Yeah, it's not fully runed actually, but he's changing a few of his runes. But we see a Varisa here, and we see where he got really lucky with skill ups though too. 0 skill ups into first skill, max skills into second skill, max skills into third skill. The luckiest skill ups with this Varisa. So he went for a swift build, but this is only 4 runes, so he's missing. He would have had like almost. I mean, he could have even had 300 speed at max, but he went for a swift build on Varisa. So just to give you guys an example of how someone has her built, it would be nice to see a 2 set. But yeah, swift build for this one, and we may as well take a look at, while we're here, another one. This is extremely fast though. Again, swift blade, speed, crit damage, attack. Very, 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 very fast though. This is the fastest one we've seen today, I believe. So this is 288 speed on Leia. That's not bad. This is completely unrelated. I just have to show you guys this. So we're on China server right now. We're taking a look at some builds, and no. It seems normal. Seems normal, right? Couple Savannahs, no big deal. Oh, you got a couple Nat 5s. Oh, LD 5s. Okay. Couple more. A couple more. Oh, he's starting to get some dupes. Hold on. He's got some LD dupes Oh, he's got some more LD dupes. Jesus. Just some more LD dupes. No, nothing like an army of LD5 dupes. He's got dupe Giannis. He's got dupe Bellas. He's got dupe Limas. He's got dupe what else? Dupe Tion Langs. There's probably another one that's. I think he's got a dupe Lydia too. Yeah. I'm sorry, I had to share that. You could timestamp that one if you want. Here's another example of Water Chun-Li, aka Water Blade Dancer. She is on Swift Focus, Speed Crit Damage Attack because she does damage, and she also does control with this skill 3, so you want her to be at least decently fast and decent accuracy. Here's another example of a Fire Chun-Li, aka Fire Blade Dancer. She is on Swift and will Speed Crit Damage HP with crit rate in subs, and her crit buff on skill 3 is going to actually give her 86% crit rate altogether. And last but finally not least, here's an example of a Wind Chun-Li. She is not fully runed actually, so that's already better than most Wind Chun-Lis you'll see, which are just not built at all. Again, I would recommend against the Water and Wind Chun-Lis. At the current time that I'm recording this, I don't know if you're going to be watching this in the future and she's got a buff at some point and she does way more damage, or the Water one does way more damage, but fast with attack, crit damage attack, or speed crit damage attack, just fast with good damage and decent accuracy. Well, there's not really too much accuracy on here, but she does need accuracy for all of her attack gauge reduction on those. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys got something out of it. That is how to rune and a small review of the Blade Dancers, aka the Chun-Lis. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. That's it for this one. I'll see you as always in the next one.